الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين الآثمين، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له رب العالمين، ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله الأمين أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله، فبلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الغمة، فاللهم اجزه عنا وعن والدينا والإسلام والمسلمين خير ما جزيت به نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن رسالته، واحشرنا اللهم معه وفي زمرته وتحت لوائه، واسقنا من حوضه الشريف شربة هنيئة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا كما آمنا به ولم نره، اللهم آمين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. O you who believe, have taqwa to Allah and be pious and be conscious of Allah as you are supposed to, and do not die except in the state of Iman. After praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and testifying that there is no God worthy of worship except Him alone subhanahu wa ta'ala, and testifying that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the seal of all of His prophets and messengers, I advise myself and my brothers and sisters to be conscious of Allah, to always be constantly in a state of reflection, especially in crossing points like we are paying farewell to 1 year and receiving another year. نودع عاما ونستقبل عاما. تهل علينا ذكرى مولد الحبيب صلى الله عليه وسلم, the month where the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم was born, and it is the month where the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم made his hijrah as well. The hijrah happened in Rabi' الثاني or الآخر. The hijrah happened at the same time, and Muslims started their calendar beginning of the year where the hijrah, the migration of the Prophet ﷺ happened. So those are going to be some reflection for receiving the new year, for receiving the new year. And we have to have some kind of muhasabah al-ijabiyya, some kind of positive look back at what we have done, what we have achieved of projects, goals, and what we have missed and lost and could be done better in 2016, inshallah tabarak wa ta'ala. We have to ask ourselves those questions. We do not wait for anybody to ask us these questions. ماذا فعلت؟ وماذا لم أفعل؟ ماذا قدمت؟ وماذا أخرت؟ What did I do? What was I supposed to do and I missed? What is the chances? What are the chances that I caught and the chances I missed? Because without making an evaluation, we probably are going to miss some more chances to come, and the entire life will be gone without probably achieving what we are supposed to achieve. We have to ask ourselves the question, did we have the motive? هل كان لدينا الحافز والباعث? We have goals in mind, we have dreams at least, we have thoughts in mind. But do we have the motive, the motivation, which is the energy that will, and the fuel that will be used for us to achieve those goals? That is the question that we need to ask. And in this process, we need to, as we are evaluating our past, we need to pay attention to some of the common mistakes that we all are guilty of. We have first of all to admit our mistakes. When we look back, we're not looking back to say we have achieved that much, it's good, and praising ourselves and just being extremely proud of the few things that we have achieved. That's one positive goal, but another goal is to look at the mistakes, look at the feedbacks from others and admit those mistakes so we can correct them, so we can make the better choices in the future. وكما قيل كما تتوقع فستجد وكما تزرع تحصد. Whatever you are putting in there, as far as the motivations and thoughts and goals and ideas, that's most likely what you're going to get if you pursue it by work. Allah Azza wa Jalla يقول في الحديث القدسي أنا عند ظن عبدي بي. I will meet the expectation of my servant of me. That's Allah speaking. So the beginning of any change is to start from within. Think about it. Make it, take that special time of your thought process. Think about you being what you are looking for. Think about Al-Jannah and what kind of position you want to have there. Think about any goal that could be there and start from within. one of the important tools, actually let me put it the other way around, the destructive tools of any dreams, goals, plans is, and we see it a lot, unfortunately, especially amongst youth, or some youth, I can't. This is a destructive tool. I can't. It's impossible. It's not really for me. We have to put these destructive tools aside and we have to replace them, all of us, not only youth, everybody, with those positive tools of I can. At least I can try. Inshallah, with the help of Allah and serious work, I can achieve that and I can do that. As we are evaluating ourselves, we have to look at our responsibilities before our rights. Did we achieve and fulfill our responsibilities? كلكم راع. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said everybody is a ra'i, is responsible for a certain circle under him, and every ra'i, every responsible person will be held accountable according to that level of responsibility that Allah gave him. From the leader of the state all the way to the lowest worker, everybody will be responsible. A husband will be responsible, a wife will be responsible. That's what the hadith mentions. So did we really achieve the responsibilities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set us or sets us where He put us? He put you as a father. Did you achieve your responsibilities as father? Did you do it? You need to ask yourself this question. As a mother, as whatever you're doing in life, whatever responsibilities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, we need to ask ourselves this question. Being that religious responsibilities, as far as prayers, for example, did we do the prayers? Did we do the social responsibilities? Social responsibilities, which is amongst the important things in Islam, Silatul Rahim, for example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about His rights and then the rights of the parents, social. You have to keep your responsibilities, social responsibilities as well towards parents, friends, family members, and so on. This is a few questions of circles of responsibilities that we need to ask. And one of the important responsibilities is wajib al-da'wah. If that is a responsibility for Muslims at large to carry and pursue the task of the Prophet ﷺ and all prophets before him, which is to convey the message from Allah to His people, if that is obligatory on all Muslims at large, it's more so on our part, being, in a society that there are a lot of people around us who need that guidance, who need, especially in the times that they really misunderstand it and it's really mispresented to them, da'wah becomes obligatory. It's not an option. It's not something that I may do or I may skip. No, you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to take Islam to the next level. That will help you in person, and it will help your community, and it is at the end of the day a responsibility on all of us. Without asking ourselves those questions and more questions, without taking this step of looking back and making the evaluation and assessment for the last year, we're not gonna achieve much in the next year. We have to do that first so we can achieve better in the new year, inshallah. Let's stay away from two things that I thought of. Obviously there are a lot of other things, but two things that we need to really kill and get rid of. One thing is ما تسمى بمستنزفات الطاقة. Allah Azza wa Jalla أعطى كل إنسان منا قدر محدد معين من الطاقة. Everybody is giving that amount of energy for sabr. Some people, they have level that's very low of sabr, patience. But some other people, they have, great amount of that. Some people have hikmah, wisdom. Some people have, total of that is the fuel, the energy that you go by. Many of us, if not most of us, we waste some of that time, patience, some of the total energy that Allah has given us in things like al-khilafat, al-tabadur, taqti' dhat al-bayn, having all of these disagreements, having all of these, unhealthy relationships with others. That takes a lot of our energy in the negative way. We have to direct this power, this energy towards, something positive, rather than losing. It's like somebody has a big, huge tank, but there is a little hole at the bottom of the tank. You are going to lose of your fuel, and it might even lead to something more disastrous if you do not keep that energy and power and stay away from all of these khilafat. And we see it so clear, disagreements amongst Muslims about big and small issues. Anything could be wala and bara for Muslims. This is an issue that it can be a definitive issue whether I'm gonna continue with you or not, we're going to be friends or not, we're going to be working as couples or not. We are so, extreme in a way or another somehow when we disagree with one another. We need to get rid of that, and we need to be able to save some of this power to use it for something positive. This is disease number one. Disease number two, which is also very destructive, is saving our time and taking care of our time itself, the energy and the time itself, because we waste a lot of our time. Much of our time is being wasted in vain. بلا فائدة، تضييع الأوقات. Let's kill the time. Let's do this and that. One of the scholars, he said, إن من يقتل وقته إنما يقتل نفسه. When you kill the time, this term, you're killing yourself. You're actually killing your own self. فهي جريمة انتحار بطيء. It is a crime of somebody committing suicide on a slow pace. That's what it is. قال ترتكب على مرء ومسمع من الناس ولا يعاقب عليها أحد. It's being done, practiced, committed in front of everybody, but nobody really think of it as something disastrous. There is no punishment for it. It's not even seen as a horrible thing, even if you're literally killing yourself in a gradual basis. والإمام ابن القيم رحمه الله يقول إضاعة الوقت أشد من الموت. Wasting time, Imam Ibn Qayyim is saying, when you waste your time, this is graver, more grave than death. Why? He said, قال لأن إضاعة الوقت تقطعك عن الله والدار الآخرة. He said, because when you waste your time, you are kind of disconnected or losing the connection or losing direction between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the hereafter. Allah has given you this time, so this life to be a farm for the hereafter. You use it to put credit for the hereafter, to work for the hereafter. Now you are wasting your time, you're losing that. You're losing your relationship with Allah, you're losing your relationship with the Akhirah simply by wasting your time. That is wasting your time. قال والموت يقطعك عن الدنيا وأهلها. But he said death, all it's going to do is going to disconnect you from life and the people, and the people who are alive. So which one is graver? To be cut and separated and disconnected from Allah and the hereafter by killing the time, or being disconnected from people? It's actually when you waste your time and be disconnected from Allah, this is graver, according to Imam Ibn al-Qayyim. وقال الحسن البصري رحمه الله تعالى أدركت أقواما كانوا على أوقاتهم أشد منكم حرصا على دراهمكم ودنانيركم. He said, Imam al-Hasan al-Basri, I have caught some people who was living in the time of some people who were more keen on keeping their time than you are on keeping your money. So see how much you need to keep the money and pay attention to collect it and keep it and everything. He said, I have lived with some people who were so, but with the time. So time is your capital, and we see that clear in the dua of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam every day in the morning and in the afternoon. Every day, the first thing he would say after Salatul Fajr, amongst what he says of the ad'iyah, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-kufri wal-faqr, until he says, وَأَعُوذُ بِكَ مِنَ الْعَجْزِ وَالْكَسَلِ. Oh Allah, I seek protection and refuge with you from al-ajz, being helpless, which is not able to do anything, which is waste of time, or time is passing by, nothing is achieved. That's ajz. Wal-kasal, sluggishness, laziness. Somebody is lazy. He can do, time is there, but he is lazy. He doesn't. So this hadith is referring indirectly to the importance of the value of time. We need to avoid those two things. Do not waste your energy in khilafat, in disagreements, and all of these things. Do not waste your time. Those two things, if we achieve in 2016, that will be the best to start leaping forward, jumping forward towards achieving things. First of all, Allah Azza wa Jalla يقول وَلِكُلٍّ وِجْهَةٌ هُوَ مُوَلِّيهَا. الآية تثبت حق كل إنسان حرية الاختيار. حرية الاختيار. You are free to choose your direction. Allah said in the Quran, وَلِكُلٍّ, for everybody. وجهة هو موليها. There is a direction that اسم فاعل مولي. It is him who will make that direction, who will make the choice to go that direction. For everybody is that, freedom. But then towards the end of the surah, what did he say? He said, لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. Yes, you're free to choose your direction, yeah. لها, for yourself, is going to be لها ما كسبت it will have the consequences of what good it has gained. وَعَلَيْهَا مَكْتَسَبَتْ. And in the same way, it has gained, it will bear the consequences of what evil it has earned. So whatever good you do, you see the consequences of it. You're free to choose, good or bad, but you will see the consequences of whatever way you want to go. Now 2016 is coming. You need to be a better you. You need to shoot for that plan, being a better you in 2016. Because time is passing. We are growing older. We're getting closer to Allah. We're getting closer to Al-Hisab, to Yawm Al-Qiyamah. We need to get also better, not the other way around. By the time, Allah is swearing by the time He said, indeed, human being is in loss except except for those who believe and do good deeds. So you can be better you when you have the right faith and the right action, as the Quran is saying. So one of the most important, if not the most important of all of the issues, أهم القضايا إعادة النظر في علاقتنا مع الله تبارك وتعالى. We have to reconsider our relationship with Allah. Where is that? Is Allah present in my life? We're Muslims. We're praying. But really, where is Allah in my life? How's my relationship with Allah versus I'm just trying to see the priorities versus my relationship with my family, my technology, my iPhone, my whatever else that you have in your life. We have to reassess that and evaluate that. Where is Allah Azza Jalla in my life, and how is my relationship with Allah? That should be one of the top priorities. من المشاريع الإيمانية, the projects that have to do with faith. Reassess your relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. جدد الإيمان. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying, جددوا الإيمان في قلوبكم. Renew faith in your heart. May I ask the brothers to move forward, inshallah, please move forward to make room for the brothers who are still coming. So renew your faith and put it as a goal in 2016, inshallah, to renew your faith as part of your مشروع الإيماني, part of your project of faith. والمشاريع العلمية. Whether you are still studying or whether you finish your studies, you have your career, you can always achieve good in al-ilm al-dunyawi, the science, by attending conferences or وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا مُنَكَّرًا. Oh Allah, increase me in knowledge, any knowledge, علم الدنيا وعلم الآخرة, and definitely علم الآخرة, العلم عن الله تبارك وتعالى. Would you increase your knowledge about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? While you're happy with where you are, with that much that you got, when you know that al-ilmu bahrun la sahila lahu, la shati'a lahu, it's like an ocean that does not have any coastline. No matter how much knowledge you got of Allah, of anything actually, there is no end for that. You can always increase your knowledge. Set that as a priority. Learn. Al-ilmu quwwa. Learning and knowledge is power, and this is something that is so clear. So we have to make it as an investment. How to make the best out of this year that's coming. We are receiving 30 months to come. Little less than 30 months. Which is 52 weeks, actually 51 weeks. 1 week is gone. So 51 weeks to go to the end of this year, which is 365 days. And that translates into 8,760 days. Minutes? Hours, I'm sorry. I'm bad at math anyway. So that's 30 months, and that's 52 weeks, which is 365 days, and it is 8,760 hours, and this is 500,025 plus of the minutes that we are receiving, and a little bit over 31 million seconds to receive. That's what we are going to. We already lost 1 week or past 1 week. And that's with all the hours. I'm not going to repeat that. All the hours in 1 week, you can make the math yourself. That's gone. Allah Azza wa Jalla yaqul, i'malu. Allah said to the Prophet, tell them, say to them, i'malu, work, فَسَيَرَ اللَّهُ عَمَلَكُمْ. Because Allah is going to look into your actions. Allah is going to look into your actions. 2016, 2015, before and after, Allah is going to look into the actions. وَرَسُولُهُ وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَسَتُرَدُّونَ إِلَىٰ عَالِمِ الْغَيْبِ وَالشَّهَادَةِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reproached the disbelievers when they wasted all their time not being able to make the right choice in their lifetime. When they came back to Allah and He told them, أَوَلَمْ نُعَمِّرْكُمْ مَا يَتَذَكَّرُ فِيهِ مَنْ تَذَكَّرَ وَجَاءَكُمُ النَّذِيرُ. Didn't we give you enough time as a chance that if you want to remember and get the remembrance, you would do so in that time. It was enough of a chance for you. That's what Allah is saying to disbelievers. We have given you the full chance. وَجَاءَكُمُ النَّذِيرُ, and above all, there is a warner who has come to you in terms of all of these prophets who came to us. And on the other hand, so he's blaming the disbelievers for not making the right choice even though they had a lifetime to make it. And he also, on the other hand, مَدَحَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, he praised the believers for making the right choice and making the best out of their time. قال كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا هَنِيئًا كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا هَنِيئًا بِمَا أَسْلَفْتُمْ فِي الْأَيَّامِ الْخَالِيَةِ. Eat and drink. هَنِيئًا, enjoy it to the full. Why? Because of what you have done in the days that are gone. You have done the best in those 60, 80, 100 years that you lived. So now it's time to reap the benefit of that. So he blamed some people for wasting their time, and he praised the other people for not wasting the time and doing the best to get them into that position. So we have to know the value of our time. That can make all the difference in the consequences later on. As the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, لَن تَزُولَ, you're not going to be removed, taken anywhere in the day of judgment before you will be questioned عن عمره, amongst what you will be asked about your lifetime. What did you do with it? How did you spend it? أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين الآثمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله رب العالمين وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله الأمين. Again, please move forward and make room. If you have any space in front of you, this is one of our good deeds that you can make, inshallah, to gain hasanat by making room for the brothers who are still coming. Also, the brothers who are coming, we have an overflow room over there that's open, inshallah. So why did I mention days? Was it just for the sake of math and numbers? I mentioned we have that many days and that many weeks and that many hours and that many seconds in this year. Why? Actually, this is a Quranic value. قيمة قرآنية. when Allah عز وجل نعلم أن الله يحاسب على مثاقيل الذر. Allah is not going to hold us accountable for how many just days or how many kilograms that we give or how many pounds. He is going to ask us about فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ. Whoever does the weight of an atom, the weight of an atom of goodness, you will see the consequences of it. وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَى. So there are going to be questions about the least of things as well as the big and the huge things. So we need to pay attention. As we pay attention to years, we need to pay attention to days and weeks and hours and even minutes and seconds as well, because that could make all the difference. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَى وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَى. We have, as far as the mashari' al-imaniyya, that's what I can talk about. We have also so many projects to do as far as how to proceed in your work, in your career, with your family, and what have you. That's something that you have to do yourself. But in mashari' al-imaniyya, for example, look at the fara'id. We have close to 1,800 salawat, faridah. In 1 year, just 1,800 salawat, prayers that you have to do, around that number. And you have 30 or 29 days of Ramadan to fast. So this is, look at it from now and consider, think about this for now. And there are, other than the fara'id, prayers, siyam, this and that, there are little things here and there, and I talked about this a couple of months ago, or like a month ago, about easy things that you can really collect hasanat from. One of the simplest things that you can do in what? In maybe 10 seconds, 5 seconds, actually 3 seconds. Astaghfirullah li wal mu'minina wal mu'minat. That's a simple way you can do it. I ask Allah forgiveness for me and for all the believing men and women. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he says, when you say that, when you ask forgiveness for yourself, for all the believing men and women, you are getting lahu bi kulli mu'min wa mu'minatin hasana. For every single believer, you get an hasana. Because you're now asking Allah, Allah forgive me, I'm worried about myself and about my sins, and also my fellow Muslims, all the believers, forgive them. You're asking forgiveness for others. So this is simple, one of the very simplest examples that you can do to collect hasanat, and it also teaches us how to work for ourselves and for others as well. Worry about ourselves and about others as well. Care for ourselves and about others as well. So that is what we are learning from something like this. A simple social thing that you can do, ziyaratul marid. visiting a sick person as an example, simple example to do. You can make that as a project. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you visit a sick person, 70,000 ملك يستغفرون له. Authentic hadith. He said 70,000 angels are asking, praying for you, asking forgiveness from Allah to you as long as you are there. So that's a lot of reward. That's something we all need. You can go ahead and look, how can you be beneficial for your community, for others, just by visiting one person. What if you benefit one person? What if you benefit your community? What if you volunteer some of your time in a project that would reflect on the youth? They would learn something, they would be connected to the masjid, they would be better person in their future, and they will probably pass this on. What if you are part of that? Volunteering again. What if you, and I'm talking about this, and I am actually in the final stages of putting a full plan for the projects and the activities of the masjid for 2016, along with some brothers and sisters, Jazakumullahu khairan, and we need the help and energy of everybody, youth, elder, everyone. What can you do for the masjid? Please come forward. Come forward, and with your energy, with your thoughts, with your ideas, this can be as you are looking, as you are expecting for yourself, for your families, inshallah. Just move forward and see what are the projects that you can do, and never delay. بادروا بالأعمال فاستبقوا الخيرات. Rush, vie with one another. Do not delay. When it comes to akhirah, never delay. When it comes to dunya, yes, it's good not to delay, but you should make it as a top priority. When it has to do with al-akhirah, something, a good deed, especially if it's beneficial for others, you never delay. قيل إذا كانت الآخرة بالقلب جاءت الدنيا تزاحمها وإذا كانت قال لأنها يعني الآخرة, if you have the hereafter in your heart, then dunya will come and try to compete with that, try to take over part of your heart at least, if you are focused on al-akhirah. That's what the dunya is going to do. وقال وإذا كانت الدنيا في القلب فلا تزاحمها الآخرة. But if you have dunya in your heart, al-akhirah is not going to even worry about that, لأنها كريمة. It's not going to come and try to take over part of your heart. No, it has to be in the core of your heart, and then dunya can come later on, try to take one part of your heart, because al-akhirah karima. This is, the ultimate goal in there. It does not just accept to be there in one of the corners of your heart, taking a little small room. That doesn't happen. فأيها الأحباب من خاف أدلج ومن أدلج بلغ المنزل ألا إن سلعة الله غالية ألا إن سلعة الله الجنة. You can always talk, good talk, and listen to all of these things without having the motivation and the determination and the himma al-aliyah, shooting high, as we talked in the last khutbah, and all of that, and above all putting the trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and start doing the action and being consistent and resilient. Without starting to do that, no change is going to happen. Listen and استمعون إلى القول فيتبعون أحسنه. Take the best of what you hear and implement it, and be fast to be a leader, to do that before anybody else. If we do that, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, "Man khafa adlaj." If you're really worried about your akhirah, adlaja, you will do fast. You will try to do things here and there. وَمَنْ adlaja, and if you do so, try to save a little bit of time for goodness. You will end up at the end, بلغ المنزل. You will reach the distance. You will have a lot of hasanat, inshallah, in the akhirah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم وأسأل الله تبارك وتعالى في هذه الساعة أن يغفر ذنوبنا. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت على الحق أقدامنا وانصرنا على أعدائنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم بلغنا فيما يرضيك أمالنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعل يومنا خيرا من أمسنا. اللهم اجعل غدنا خيرا من يومنا. Oh Allah, always make today better than yesterday ya Rabb al-Alameen. Oh Allah, make tomorrow better than today for us ya Rabb al-Alameen. Oh Allah, make us move forward and develop in our life, and always make the right choices and choose the right direction in our life ya Rabb al-Alameen. Oh Allah, forgive our sins and our mistakes, and give us the best out of this life and the best of the hereafter ya Arhamar Rahimin. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم. One final important reminder, inshallah, after Salatul